Hello and welcome back to High Wire Week with P. Raj. Well, we have reached our final day, day 4 of High Wire Week, all leading up to our Greatest Showman experience coming up this Sunday, just a few days away, September the 25th, at all 3 of our campuses. So what have we talked about? You know, we dove into A Million Dreams at the start of the week, and then I shared some insight from the songs Never Enough and This Is Me during the week. And now we come to the end of our week with a devotion around one of my all-time favorite songs from now on. It's the last song in The Greatest Showman, the movie. So today's Devo is all about our main character, Phineas, but I'm also going to bring in another man who actually had a lot of similar struggles like Phineas, a man named Solomon. Now, Solomon had wisdom and riches and power and relationships, and at the end of the day, all of those things were just empty. This is the same place we find Barnum at the end of the movie, The Greatest Showman. Now, if you've seen the movie, you remember that I said that the main idea of this movie is the song Never Enough. And how Barnum, he never had enough and he always wanted more. He wanted to be more famous and he wanted to be more important. Well, all of that fame crumbles around him and he ends up losing his family, he loses his circus, and he basically loses hope. So this is the moment. This is Barnum's moment when he remembered to go home again to what mattered most. That chasing of all of that fame and riches of the world blinded him to what truly mattered most to him, and that was his family. The theme of this song and this movie has so many parallels to our Christian faith. While at the end of the movie, Phineas finds his way back to what he loves most, which is his family, it is also a reminder for us that during times in our life where we are beat down, where we need to find our way back to what matters most, we need to find our way back sometimes to what we love the most, which is God. So what about Solomon? Well, Solomon, he was a man who tried everything and found it empty, and then said what we really need to run after isn't fame. It's not power, it's not fortune, it's not money or popularity, but rather it's God. Now, Phineas's story actually reminds me so much of the parable of the Prodigal Son, a great parable. It's in Luke chapter 15. If you don't know it, let me kind of sum it up for you like this, okay? So this prodigal son inherited a lot of money. He inherited a lot of wealth, and so he went out and he tried to get everything, popularity, fame, all of that. But ultimately, he found it was lacking. And in the end, he realized that what he ultimately wanted was to come back home to his father, to his family, even to his friends. The prodigal son, just like Solomon, just like Barnum, realized that at the end of the day, what he needed was to go back home. This guy had lived his whole life as an entitled rich kid. And now suddenly when he saw that things weren't going well and that he saw his situation wasn't turning out the way he wanted it, he accepted that he really wasn't as amazing as he thought. But he had no idea what to expect when he would return home. Would he be welcome? Would he be even accepted back? The cool thing about this story about the prodigal son is that when he does finally go home, he was given grace. His father gave him grace. And very much like our main character, Phineas, he goes back home and he didn't even know what to expect, but then his wife and his children gave him grace. Someone else who is full of grace and would love it if we would run back to him with our arms wide open? God. Now, I know maybe some of you are already close to God, and that's great, but I know there are maybe some of you who have run away from God. There are some of you who say you're following God, but you're really not following God as close as you want to. You are making choices that are leading you places you never thought you would go. And listen, for your kids, they may not be running away from God, but maybe they're not as close to God or following God as close as you'd like them to. Maybe even their friends haven't even found God to begin with. Their friends haven't even heard the name of Jesus. So what does all this mean? It's time to go home again, y'all. It's time to turn to God and ask for forgiveness and ask for grace. You know, for your kids, it's time for them to say, from now on, that's the title of our song, by the way, from now on, I choose Jesus. From now on, I will share Jesus with my friends. Now, I'm going to end our Devo time with this. It's the first stanza in our song. This is what it says. I saw the sun begin to dim and felt the winter wind blow cold. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. 'Cause from then, rubble one remains, can only be what's true. If all was lost is more I gain, 'cause it led me back to you. What is going to lead you back to God today? I am praying that if you are far from God right now, it's time to come home. Come to church this Sunday. Come to the altar and pray and renew and rededicate your life to Christ. Renew your life to God. For your kids, it's crunch time, just a few days away from Sunday now. So help them get to church this Sunday and help them get their friends to join them. Life change is going to happen here on Sunday. I am so excited for that, and it's going to happen in the name of Jesus. So I look forward to coming back on Monday, and I'm going to share the good news of what took place at the Greatest Showman experience. You all take care. God bless, and we will see you all this Sunday for the Greatest Showman experience. Take care. Bye-bye.